Hey there, and welcome back to Sleep. If you're new to my channel, I had the gastric sleeve bariatric procedure on January 9th of 2018, and I'm officially 12 weeks post-op. So I thought there'd be no better way than to take my family and I camping. We are going to Moab, Utah. We're going actually glamping. We're staying at a place called Moab Under Canvas, which are these canvas tents that have a shower in them, running water. It is beautiful. It's out. Moab is kind of desert-like if you've never been there. My parents have never been there. They're driving out from Minnesota tomorrow. So we're going to go stay in Grand Junction on Thursday night and then drive the rest of the way to Moab on Friday. And I am so excited to go camping. I'm really excited to go to Moab. I'm hoping that my mom and me, we can go on some hikes, and with the weight loss I've had, I feel like I'm going to be able to enjoy it more. I did go last summer when I was 360 pounds, so with that significant weight loss, I just can't wait to try out and see how my body does on some of those hikes I did last year in my new body. And then also I want to do the Delicate Arch longer hike with my mom, which she's already agreed to, and go check that out. So I'm super excited. But one of the great fears in camping is the food. A lot of times when my family goes camping, they don't really enjoy the cooking part because camping cooking is a lot more work. There's a lot more to it. We're going to bring a gas stove. We're going to bring our food. There's the cleanup without really a sink. I mean, we do have a sink in the bathroom there, which I think will be helpful, but I'm not sure that they're going to allow food to be dumped down it, things like that. And so with that being said, I did not want to have the mistake of us getting there and then just forfeiting on cooking and going out to eat. I want to make sure that I'm in control of what I put in my mouth. I'm in control of what I decide to eat. And with that being said, Daniel and me have really come up with a great solution to this. We're going to definitely do camping cooking, but we found some great recipes that'll work for this. The first thing, we get there on a Friday. My family and I, we are all Catholic, and so for the Lenten season, we do not eat any meat on Fridays. We only eat things like fish. And when I say meat, they mean warm-blooded animals. So fish is okay, so I knew that I had to pick something with fish. And I thought, camping and fish. We're going to be on a little stove. I also am not a fan of bringing raw meat anywhere because I feel like there's a lot of, you put it in a cooler and there's, like raw meat might leak and then there's a bunch of juices. So we freeze everything before we go. We cook it here, and then if it thaws out in the cooler, it'll be okay because it's already pre-cooked, but it stays cold because we add ice. I didn't want to have something like salmon that you couldn't really reheat real well. So Daniel and me thought about it, and we thought shrimp fajitas would be okay. So we've already pre-cooked our meat. This may not look like it, but there is taco seasoning and a bunch of shrimp in here, nice and cold. So not only when we put this in the cooler, it's gonna be cold already, and then this can help keep the other food cold since it's nice and frozen. So with that, we have a 3-pepper onion blend. Of course, a lot of times before we go camping, we'll prep some of the vegetables. These are also a great thing. We had this already in our freezer, so we're gonna bring this and it's frozen. So again, keeping everything in that cooler nice and cold, which we love. And we also got some refried beans to go with that. Now, I think I talked about how refried beans, they are a little bit higher in the carbohydrates than I prefer, but they do have 5 grams of dietary fiber, and their protein level is 6 grams per half cup. My dietitian, she tells me not to eat pretty much any carbs out there, but she does like beans because being post-op, I do not get the fiber that I should to have a healthy digestive system, and you don't want things backing up causing diverticulitis or even obstruction because you want your food getting pushed through more, and nothing is better than having fiber. So I thought this would be okay, and that's going to be our first night. I did get tortillas for the rest of my family, but tortillas, I don't even really crave them, so I'm definitely okay with them eating them in front of me. I am just going to make sure I have some shrimp, the veggies, and then a little refried beans to get things moving. The next day, on Saturday morning, we are going to be cooking a Denver omelet, but we're going to do it in a pan. So I picked up some egg beaters, and I really like bringing egg beaters versus eggs due to a pretty horrific experience. We were at a music festival. I brought eggs. The eggs hatched in the back seat, and I just feel like egg consistency, I don't know why. I mean, I love eating them, but the consistency is kind of a turn off. And cleaning it up while camping, where we have no running water, in the back seat of your car, where it's going to be sitting out in the sun all day, terrified me. And ever since then, I've always gotten the egg beaters because this is already mixed up really well. It's eggs. It has less than 1 carb per 3 tablespoons, 5 grams of protein, and 25 carbs. So low carb. And then with it, we're going to add some, you can't really see it, but there's ham, which you've already pre-diced. And then we're going to use some of the leftovers from the peppers and onion mixture and make like a Denver omelet in this. They do have grills there, so we can set this on and it'll just kind of bake it, I thought. And then the cleanup is really easy because these we can recycle. Then for lunch, and every day for lunch, we're going to be out on the trails. One thing that Moab is known for is Jeeping, and we are Jeepers in my household. We have a 2008 Jeep Wrangler that has the lift. We recently redid the front drive shaft on it. It has big wheels. We love it. And when you go Jeeping, it brings you to views that you may have never seen otherwise. So much fun. So we're going to be in his Jeep, and I thought what we could do is just pack sandwiches, which is a common thing and I think pretty simple. But one thing, at our local grocery store, they had these great packs. So for $10, this one is called the Americana. It's $10. It has turkey, ham, and American cheese. The next one we purchased is the Italian. So this one has different salamis, pepperoni, and then mozzarella cheese. So with these, instead of using bread, I just put the meat down, a piece of cheese, I roll it up, make like a little, I call it a ham and cheese roll up. I eat that and I'm happy. And of course we got bread for the people that like to eat bread. But again, carbs to me, especially processed carbs, I just haven't been craving them. So it's okay. And we also got some chips and things for them. But for me, I got maybe a string cheese. But more than likely, I'm going to be just full after this. I really still can't fit a lot in my stomach. So maybe 1 or 2 of these roll-ups and I'll be happy to go. And they'll have my protein and all that in them. Now, for my snacks, I mentioned I eat every 3 hours. And I knew that I would need something in between. So I'm going to bring some of the Nature Valley protein bars that I got in last week's Costco haul. I do have the little salami and cheese packs that I said in last week's Costco haul. String cheese, which we buy in bulk now. We didn't buy it at Costco, but we bought it at King Super, and we always buy the biggest bag because we go through so much. Daniel loves it. I love it. It's perfect to have in the house. And then also the Blue Moose, a Boulder, different spreads. I like to add my Gen Pro. So 1 scoop of Gen Pro in this makes it 32 grams of protein. So really can get my protein in. All this, and I also got kind of for my sweet tooth, those coconut clusters, which I mentioned in last week's Costco haul. So if you haven't seen that, I'll make sure to link that up below. And go ahead and click on that. You can see all the food I got. And I might bring even some more. But I don't want to overpack because I feel like one thing I've learned after having this surgery is that you just don't eat as much as you used to, but your eyes are still as big, and it's that mental adjustment that I'm working on. So I've really been trying to, when I look at something, really try to be realistic. Is this something I'm really going to eat? I don't think so. So the next day that we're going to be camping is going to be Sunday. And Sunday we're going to go to church, and then my parents wanted to go to brunch afterwards. So I made reservations at a restaurant. I've looked up the menu and I can find low carb, high protein options on that. So I feel really comfortable about that. Then for supper that night, I thought we'd do kind of a camping tradition, and we got some brats at Costco last weekend. And these brats are 290 calories, so quite a bit. They have 2 grams of carbohydrates and 16 grams of protein. So a good protein source. I do wish the calories were lower, but this is a camping classic. And that is for 1 whole link, which I don't even know if I could truly eat yet. So I figured if I have I'll have like, you know, probably a half to 3/4 of it and just kind of see how it goes. But this will be great. And then Daniel picked up some beans, baked beans. Now, baked beans have quite a bit of sugar in them, so I'm going to try to stay away from these. Again, the beans have fiber, which they are always pushing me to get more of, so I might look into having that. Then the last day is Monday. We're going to be leaving Monday morning, but we still want to make sure that we're eating there. I don't want to have to go to McDonald's on the way out of town or anything like that. I just don't feel like honestly, I don't really feel like there's much there because I don't like their egg product, and I still want something that I can eat and be really full off of. So we're going to do round 2 of kind of egg bake meal, but this time we went with kind of a different style. We're going to use the Southwest egg beaters, and then we got some green chilies to put in it, and then on the bottom of this one we have some sausage that we can put in it, and Daniel grated up this huge thing of cheese that we can use on our fajitas, everything that he can put in there for another egg bake. So again, I think when my ultimate camping tips for when you're going camping and bringing food is cook the meat ahead of time, freeze it. I think you'll thank me later. And then the second thing is be creative in what you're doing, especially if you're a gastric sleeve post-op patient. And being a gastric sleeve post-op patient, I find that figuring out what works best is to plan ahead. And so I made sure that everything's planned. We're not even leaving for like 2 days, and I already have everything packed, everything ready to go. I just want to make sure that there's no surprises. I control what I put in my mouth, and I stay within the limits that I'm given. The other thing I'm incredibly nervous about is water intake. So we're definitely going to be picking up some water on the way. My dad said he was going to bring some just to make sure I keep up with that, especially if I'm going on hikes and exercising. That's going to be really important. So I will make sure to kind of film the cooking of these meals, also kind of show you what our trip was like in Moab, and of course, take you jeeping with us because we just absolutely love it. So I'll see you guys next week.